Okay. The same thing, we have taken construction management and at risk, and we specified now the project is a bit complicated. That's why the owner cannot be the project manager of that particular project. So we have introduced a new person called the construction manager or project manager, where he is going to take the whole risk. Okay. And then the last method that we have discussed was design build, in which we said there will be one company which is doing the construction and the design. And that's on this method, it's very good for projects which are having a lot of changes. It's very good when you are having a very complicated project you need to finish very fast. Okay. The last thing that we are going to take, the last thing, is a new method called BOT. Now, BOT is representing build, operate, and transfer. Okay, build, operate, and transfer. And this type of projects have started to grow around the world because it's a very good type of contracts for the government. I'll give you an example. In Oman, we have a lot of BOT projects represented mainly now by the power plants. You know what's a power plant, right? Do you know what's a power plant? Power plant. Okay, so power plant is a plant where they are producing power. Okay, محطات توليد الطاقة. Okay, so we have a lot of them here in Oman. Okay, we have a lot of them here in Oman. Now, the expenses of these particular plants to construct them, it's very high. Okay, so normally the governments would rather save that amount of money for other projects rather than giving it to the power plants. Okay, so how it goes now, normally the government is going to give plots, they are going to give plots ready for investors. Now these investors are going to come and build. Okay, these investors are going to come and build the facility, which is a power plant. After that, there will be an agreement between the government of Oman and the investor, that the investor is going to operate, he is going to run this particular power plant for a certain period, in which he is going to make sure that he is returning back the cost, plus he is getting certain amount as a profit for him. Okay. After that particular period, the ownership of the facility will go to the government of Oman. Okay. So once again, government of Oman is going to give the plot to the investor. Investor is going to take it for a period of 20 to 30 years. He is going to build, he is going to operate, he is going to receive all the money while in the operation period. After 20 or 30 years, depending on the contract, the whole facility goes to the government of Oman. So at the end of 20 or 30 years, government of Oman has got a full facility which is ready without paying anything. Is it clear, the concept of build, operate, and transfer, or whatever we call it as BOT? Is it clear? Okay, so once again, an investor is going to come. He is going to build, he is going to operate, and then after a certain period, the whole thing is going to transfer. Now, some of the people are doing it with the commercial buildings. Okay, with the commercial buildings, they will have internal agreement. I have a plot, I have a commercial plot, but I cannot build it. I don't have the money to build it. So they will ask an investor, okay, you build for us the facility, you run everything. We are not going to take from you any money before certain period. After that period, the building is going to go for me now. Okay? It's the same concept of having the BOT. Are we fine? Okay. Now I have told you I have told you we are going to solve certain questions, so you'll understand how the questions are going to come for these three methods. Normally, it's rare you will see that questions are going to come for BOT, but since it's a new method, you should know about it. But mainly, the questions are going to come for design, bid, build, construction management at risk, and then design, build. So, for example, if we go and open here, okay, if we go and open here, can you see the questions? Can you see the questions? Okay. So the question says for you, a private owner that has very good in-house experience in construction is planning for a complex project. So the project is complex. For the owner, flexibility for change orders, variations, and timely completions or timely completion are the top priorities. So once again, what they have given us, we are going to construct certain type of a project, which is a complex one. There should be a flexibility for change orders. There should be, there should be a possibility for variations, or variations and change orders are the same. But one of the main priority for the owner is that the project needs to finish very fast. Because they say timely completion are top priorities. Now, which method of the three is going to be best fit this particular question? Now we have design, bid, build, we have construction management at risk, and then we have design, build. Now, if you see for design, bid, build, or traditional, we don't have a lot of room. We don't have a lot of room for change orders. We have signed the contract. The contractor is going to do whatever is there in the contract. Okay, so we don't have a lot of flexibility in the change orders. Okay. And it's a very let's say time consuming. It's a very time consuming method because there is a bid will take a lot of time. Since you want to have the best offer, of course you need to wait. Okay, now we have two remaining options. One is construction management at risk, another one is design, build. Now which one of them offers you change orders? You can do change order, and then which one is like faster than the other method? Okay, so if you remember, we said the fastest of the three methods is design, build. Why? Because we said the design team and the construction team are sitting in the same place, so we don't need to complete the whole design before we start the construction. We said even for changes, it's going to be easier because the designer is from the same company. We don't need to give it to somebody else in another company to modify our design in case of any change order. Okay, so the correct answer here goes to design, build. Okay, the correct answer goes to design, build. Okay, another question here. A private owner that has no in-house experience in construction is planning for a very unique project. For the owner, maximum reliability and constructability are the top priority. Cost is not a major issue to the client. Now, first of all, which method you feel that it's going to be the most expensive one? Is it the traditional or construction management at risk or the design, build? Now, if you think about it, in traditional or design, build, we have got the best offer due to the bid. Okay, due to the bid, we have the best offer, so of course that will go down. Now, remaining construction management at risk and design, build. Now, of course, if you are asking the company that to allow you for a lot of changes and you are asking them to finish at a very fast pace, then of course the cost is going to be very high. Okay, so how it goes in terms of cost? In terms of cost, the lowest is traditional. After that, we have construction management at risk because of the presence of the construction manager. And then after that, we have design, build. It's the most expensive. In terms of time, the fastest one is going to be design build. After that, we have construction management at risk. After that, because of the bidding, we have traditional or design build build. Okay. So if you go and see here, it says for you, we need to understand what's the meaning of maximum reliability and constructability. Okay. Maximum reliability and constructability. Now, in which method you feel that we will not have issues in terms of construction, in terms of mistakes in the design? Your design is reliable and constructible. In which method you feel that this is going to be what you call? This is going to be the scenario. In which method you are going to be assured that less possible problems will be there in terms of your design. Your design is reliable, it's real, it's constructible, you don't have any issue. The contractor can go and construct it. Okay, so when we say once again maximum reliability and constructability, it means that the contractor can go and construct this particular design. Okay, now which one is going to assure you that? The one which will assure you that is whatever the company having both the design and the construction. Okay, the design and the construction. And then another thing they have given you, they told you cost is not a major issue to the client. So that indicates that the method is very high or the method is very expensive. And according to whatever we just say in terms of which method is expensive, then design build is going to be the final answer here. So once again, three things have been given: maximum reliability and constructability. It means that whatever design we are doing is going to be able to be constructed without any issues. And then the cost is not a major issue. And these are fitting the design build. Are we clear? Are we clear? Okay. So Oman's government, which has a little in-house experience in constructing railways, okay, is planning to build the first railway in Oman. For the owner, finishing the project on time and maximizing the constructability are the top priority. So what is going to be the best option? What do you think the best option is? Okay. So it's going to be design build once again. Why? We said maximum constructability and then finishing the project on time. Okay. Is it clear? Are we okay? Okay. Now this one, this method, Oman's government, which has little in-house experience in constructing metros, is planning to build the first metro in Oman. For the owner, finishing the project on time, reducing risks, and keeping a maximum value of the project are a top priority. Now you see, previously when we talked about design build, we talked that there is an issue which is cost. The cost is very high. Okay. Now, when you see here, and even the risks, we have a lot of risks in design build. We said we cannot figure out the issues if there are any issues. Okay. Now, if we try to remember in design build or traditional, the risk is with whom? The maximum risk goes with whom? Do you remember? The maximum risk goes to whom? Design build. Okay, we said, if you remember, we said to the owner, except for the design risks. We said the maximum risks are going to go to the owner. What about the second method? What about the second method, that is construction management at risk? Once again, in design build, okay, the risk is going to go to whom? Is it the owner, contractor, or whom exactly? The maximum risk in design build or traditional? In design build or traditional, which party is going to take the maximum risk? Okay. Still sleeping? Okay. Now, if you remember, we said the maximum risk is going to be with the contractor. Why? Because we have signed an agreement with the contractor that we are going to pay this amount only. We are not going to pay anything extra. So we said the maximum risk is going to go to the contractor. The owner is going to have only the design risks, if you remember. Now, for construction management at risk, once again, we said the maximum risk is going to go to the construction manager. Okay. The only risk taken by the only clear risk taken by the client is going to be the design risks. Okay. Now for the last method, whom will take the risk, do you think? In design build, who is going to be the person to take the risks? Once again, in traditional, we say the maximum risk goes to the contractor because we signed an agreement with him from the beginning. In construction management at risk, the risk is going to go to the construction manager. Okay. That's why we call it construction management at risk. Now, when it comes to the third method, which is design build, okay, design build, who will take the risk? Is it going to be the company? What risk the company will take? What is the risk that the company is going to take? Okay. Now, do you think the risk, if anything goes wrong, who will pay for it? In design build, if anything goes wrong, we say they will hide it. Now, who will pay for it? We said the company, since they are doing the construction and design, if there is anything wrong, it will be hidden. If they have already tried to hide it, then it will be paid only by the owner. So the risks are going to go with whom? Who will be having the risks of not knowing the things, of paying extra amount of money? Who is having the risk?
The company, Mr.
Why the company?
Because it will update something that have to do with the risk.
Okay. So you see, Abdurrahman, I'll tell you something. I'll give you an example. Okay. Now, you brought me as a company. Okay. You brought me as a company to design and build for you. Okay. You told me that I need to come and design and construct for you your building. Okay. Or your mall or whatever.
Okay.
Okay. Now in this scenario, you don't have experience to judge. Okay. You don't have experience to judge. You told me to do whatever you feel better. You don't have experience at all. You told me to prepare the design. You told me to start constructing. Now, who will be having the risks? Do you know how much the price of the project will be?
No, you don't know. The company.
Okay, so if you don't know anything about your project and you don't know the price of the project, who will be in risk?
The owner.
Okay. Not the company.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it clear now why the owner is in the why is the owner the one in risk? Others. Okay, I hope so. Okay, so here if you see, by saying reducing risks, then you cannot choose design build. Okay, if you are going for reducing risk, you cannot go for design build. Why? Because we said in design build the maximum risks are there. Okay, in design build the maximum risks are there. So what we need to do now they told us we need to finish on time, we need to reduce risks and keeping a maximum value. We'll come to keeping a maximum value of the project later. Okay, we'll enter to it in the payment methods. But anyhow, if we concentrate on these two, then we can have the answer. Now, first thing, reducing risks. Can we choose design build if they are asking us to reduce the risks? Is it a method where risks are less? And design build where the company is there? Or the risk is high? In design build, the risk is high or you can reduce the risk. You will see that the risk is high, it's with the owner only. Now the other methods, we have the risk with the contractor and we have the risk with the contractor and the risk with the construction manager. So the first method, which is design build, is going to go out. Now we have two methods. Okay, two methods in which we have already reduced risks. Because in the first method, which is design build or traditional, the risk is going to go to the contractor, and the second one, the risk is going to go to the construction manager. Now, out of the two, which one is faster? Is it the traditional or is it the construction management at risk? Once again, we chose two methods in which we reduce the risks, that the risks are not with us. Now, the final answer should go with finishing the project on time. Now, which one do you think is going to have more opportunity to finish on time? Is it the traditional with me being the construction or the project manager, or to have an experienced person having a an experienced person acting as a construction manager? Which one is faster? Okay. So once again, if you remember, what we said in terms of money, traditional is the lowest. After that, construction management at risk. After that, design build. Okay. In terms of time, we said design build is the fastest. Design build is the fastest. Why? We said because they are the same company and we can start the construction before even finishing the design. After that, we have the one after it is going to be construction management at risk, because we have an experienced person who can make sure that the project will finish on time. After that, we have traditional. Okay, so in terms of time, construction management at risk is going to be better option than traditional. So the correct answer here for the delivery method is going to be construction management at risk. Is it clear? Are we fine? Okay, we'll take one more and then we'll leave. A lot of questions are going to be coming for the payment methods and the delivery system or systems. Okay, can you read this question and tell me the answer? If we have Oman's government, which has a little in-house experience in constructing long span bridges, is planning to build the longest span bridge in the Middle East between Masira Island and Shinna and Sor. The owner aims to finish the project as soon as possible to stop using the old ferry boats and requires the design to be perfect without mistakes. Now you need to analyze. You have three things to take into account. One is time, another one is cost, another one is risk. So I have already given you the hints for cost, time, and risks. Risk is with whom for the three methods. Cost among the three methods, which one is better method, and then time as well. Now, if you see in this particular question, they didn't mention anything. Okay, they didn't mention anything related to cost. They mentioned only one thing, that the project should finish as soon as possible. Okay, so they mentioned one thing regarding time. Another thing they have mentioned, which closes the question, which is requires the design to be perfect without mistakes. Now, in which method there will be less chances of having errors in the design? In traditional, where your designer and contractor are different, or in construction management at risk, where your designer and project manager or construction manager are different, or where you are having one company who is doing the design and the construction at the same time, and from the beginning the designer is sitting with the contractor to ensure that everything is going correct. Traditional, construction management at risk, or design build. Okay, so it's going to be design build. Is it clear? So once again, you have cost, risk, and then you have time. You need to analyze your question based on these things. Okay, very good, very good. After we have the delivery methods. So after we choose the methodology, okay, after we choose the methodology, whether we are going to go for construction management at risk or the design build, or we are going to go to traditional based on the project itself, the next step is to decide which payment methods to go for. Okay, which payment methods to go for. So here, now, whatever we can see here, we have different methods. Okay, we have different methods. We have lump sum or fixed price. We have something called cost plus contracts. We have time and material contracts, and then we have unit pricing contracts. Today we are going to finish lump sum contracts.
Mr.
Yes.
The screen doesn't appear to me. Whatever you are reading now.
Others, are you seeing the screen? Others, are you seeing the screen? No, yes, no, yes. Now? Okay. Okay, so we have different payment methods. We have lump sum, cost plus contract. We have time and materials contracts, and then we have unit price or unit pricing contracts. Okay. So we are going to try to finish the first two. Okay, and then we'll take the other ones hopefully the next class. Okay. Now we'll come to this particular figure at the end. At the end, after completing these four, we'll come here. Okay. Now the first method, we said we have lump sum or fixed price. We call it lump sum or fixed price contract. And then we said cost plus contracts, and then the other two methods. Now the first method that we are going to tackle is called fixed price or lump sum. Okay, we call it as a fixed price or a lump sum. Okay. Now, if you see in this particular method, lump sum is always going to be, we call it lump sum because we are summing the values. We are adding the values to each other. Like for example, here you have foundation, metalwork, plumbing, electrical, general. So the total amount is going to be 375, and this is going to be the contract value now. Okay. Once again, lump sum means you are going to sum all the costs together. Okay. We are going to go. Okay. We are going to add or sum up all the costs together. Okay. Now let us see a question. Okay, let us see a question and then we'll understand better. It says for us, owner and contractor enter into a lump sum agreement for 20,000 Oman area. Now the actual costs incurred by the contractor are 18,500. What are the following? Okay. So what are the prices charged to the owner, and then what are the contractor profits? Now, if you see here, okay, if you see here, we said there is a contract. We enter into a contract. This is my contract. We sign a contract for 20,000 of my area. Okay. Now the actual cost. Okay, actual cost was 18,500. Okay. Now, before we go, did I explain for you the difference between price and cost? Did I explain for you the difference between price and cost? I think I did, right? Okay. Okay, good. Good. We said, if you remember, price is going to be with profit, cost is going to be without profit, right? Okay. So now if you see, this is called as a fixed price. and this is called as a cost. So we have cost here, we have a price here. Now, if we try to analyze it, we said price is equal to cost plus some kind of profit. This is a general equation that we refer to. So now we can say that this is the fixed price, which is a contract that we have signed, is going to equal to the actual cost plus the profit of the contractor. Now we have the fixed price to be 20,000 Omani Riyal. The actual cost is 18,500 plus the profit. So the profit is going to be 1,500. Are we clear about whatever calculation I have done? Are we clear about whatever calculation I have done? Okay. Now if we try to see here, now the actual cost is going to go to the contractor or is going to go for the building itself? The actual cost, is it going to go to the contractor or is it going to go purely as a profit to the contractor, or is it going to go for the building itself? Okay, so that's going to be for the building. Now what about the profit? The profit will go to whom? Profit will go to the whom? Profit will go to the contractor, right? Profit is going to go to the contractor. Okay. Now if we return back to our question, and see, it says for us, how much is going to be paid by the owner and what is the contractor profit. Now returning back to our calculation, I said the profit for the contractor is going to go 1,500. So we have solved this part. Now for me as an owner, how much do I need to pay? How much do I need to pay? Do I need to pay 18,500 or do I need to pay 20,000? You are going to pay the 20,000, which are 18,500 for the building, plus 1,500 for the profit of the contract. Is it clear? Are we clear? Okay. So in this method, you are knowing the price from the beginning. Okay, you are knowing as an owner, you are knowing how much to be paying or how much to be paid from the beginning, right? Do I know before how much is to be paid? Okay. So I have signed the contract for 20,000. Now instead of having 18.5, now the actual cost became to be 17,000. Will my payment change? Will the value that I'm paying, will it change? As an owner, will it change? Or is it going to be remaining as the same as 20,000? Same, right? It's going to go to 20,000. Now this 20,000 was known before or it will be known after? It was known before when I signed the contract. When I signed the contract, it was known, right? Do I need to pay anything extra than the contract? If this goes 22,000, how much do I need to pay? If it goes to 22,000, How much do I need to pay? I need to pay only 20,000. Now, what happens instead of the contractor is having a profit, he is going to have a lose. Is it clear? Are we clear? Okay. Now, this method fits which delivery system? We have 3 delivery systems, we said. We have traditional, we have construction management at risk, and then we have design build. This one is fitting which method? In which method you can estimate the prices from the beginning? In which method it's going to be typical and it's not complicated, so I can quantify and put a value from the beginning? It's going to be traditional. So if I ask you in the exams which method is used normally, for a traditional contract, then the correct answer should go for fixed price. Are we okay? Do you remember when I told you that we know the price from the beginning? And I have given you the example of the form. Do you remember? Okay. So the name of the method, the name of the payment method that we are using for traditional is going to be fixed price. Now, what about the other 2 methods? The other 2 methods, we said construction management at risk and design build. These are for complicated projects. No, all of them are used for construction. All of them are used for construction. Okay, it depends on the size and complexity of the project. Now, for construction management at risk and design build, do you think that you can give the total quantities from the beginning, or the project is complicated to do that? Once again, in traditional, we said the project is typical, it's not complicated. That's why we can quantify the quantities, and based on the quantities, we can get the price. Okay, we can have a number and then sign for it. Now, in construction management at risk, we said we require a construction manager because the project is untypical or it's complicated. Same thing for design build. For the design build, I'll not go and pay extra amount of money for a company unless the project is complicated. Now, in case of a complicated or untypical project or a huge project, do you think that you can give a clear value from the beginning? Okay. Now it's very complicated. You cannot know the exact number of quantities required. It means that you cannot give a real value from the beginning. Okay. So it's really rare to use fixed price. Once again, fixed price are depending on the quantities. So if you cannot estimate the quantities required, then you cannot come up with a final value. Are we clear? Are we clear? Okay. Now going for the second method. If we are going to go for the second method, now in the second method, we have cost plus contracts. Now, did they mention cost or they mention price here? Did they mention cost or price? Is it including profit or without the profit? With or without the profit? Okay, without the profit, okay? Without the profit. Cost is without the profit. So now if you can see here, we are going to pay actual cost plus something called as a fixed fee. So we agree here to give actual cost, which is for the project itself, and we are going to give a fixed fee as a profit for the contractor. That's method number one. Method number two, we have actual cost plus percentage. And once again, we are going to pay the actual cost for the project. The percentage goes as a profit. The third method that we are going to take is going to be actual cost plus fee plus incentive. And these are going to be the profit. Okay. So once again here, we are committed as owners, we are committed to pay the actual cost of the project. Why we are saying the actual cost? Because the actual cost will come only after you will know the exact final actual cost after the finishing of the project. And this will fit whenever we talk about complicated projects where we are using construction management at risk or we are using design build. Okay. Now, if you can see here, the profit methodology is changing. We have fixed fee, we have a percentage, and then we have fee plus incentive. Now, which one is better for you as an owner? To pay the contractor a fee, a fixed value, or to pay a percentage? Which one is better for you as an owner? Is it better to give him a fixed value as a profit, or is it better to give him a percentage? You have your own project, for example, you have a restaurant. Would you prefer when you bring an employee, would you prefer to give him a salary, or would you prefer to give him a percentage of the work or the percentage of the income? So whenever we are talking about salary, we are talking about a fixed value. Okay, whenever we are talking about the salary, we are talking about a fixed value. It does not change. Why are you changing? Why are you preferring the fixed value or the salary? Why? Why do you prefer going for the salary, not for the percentage? Because my profit will not reduce or change. Okay. Any other person to make it a little bit clear? Not sharing profit. Okay. So from where you will be paying the salary, not from the profit. The salary will be paid from where? Not from the not from the profit. Okay. Okay, I do agree. But can we make it a little bit simpler? Okay. I'll just summarize. I'll make it a little bit easy. Is it better? Is it better to know the value before? Say when we say a fixed fee, it means that the value is known to me before. When I say a percentage, the percentage refers that the value depends on the actual cost. If the actual cost goes up, the percentage goes up, the value of the percentage. Okay, now is it better to know it before or is it better to know it later? Is it better for you to know a value before or to know it after? It's always safer for me to know the value before. Okay, so I'll prepare for it. Okay, are we fine? So if you see here, actual cost plus fixed fee is better for me as an owner, is better than actual cost plus percentage. Now for the contractor, which one is better? For the contractor, which one is better? The fixed fee or the percentage? For the contractor, it goes to go for the percentage. For the contractor, it goes the other side around, which is for the percentage. That's why you need to read the questions which I bring no carefully. Okay, you need to read the questions carefully. I'll play a lot in terms of whether I'm asking for the point of view of the owner or I'm asking for the point of view of the contractor. Okay. Are we fine? Okay. Now, which one do you think will go for more complicated project? For more complicated project, will you go for a percentage or you will go for a fixed fee? Will the contractor agree to take a fixed fee? Do you think if the project is very complicated? If the project is very complicated, will the contractor agree to take a fixed fee only? Okay. So once again, the choice of the payment goes to the type and how complex is the project as well. Okay. Are we clear about it? So if we have a project that is not very complicated, then we can go for actual cost plus fixed fee. It's a huge project. We cannot do the quantities from the beginning, but it's not complicated. So it's actual cost plus fixed fee. Now, if we have a project that is so huge, so complicated, the contractor will not enter unless the profit is guaranteed. And the profit is guaranteed more is in percentage. Are we okay? Okay, now we'll go and have some examples so we'll understand. Now, if you go and see here, if you go and see in your Breezy, or cost plus, we have three methods: cost plus fixed fee, cost plus fixed percentage. There is another one which is cost plus variable percentage, but we are not going to cover it. Cost plus fixed fee plus incentive. So we are going to go for cost plus fixed fee. Now you can see here, owner and contractor enter into a cost plus fixed fee agreement, and the owner agreeing to pay the contractor his costs plus additional 500. Now the actual costs were 3,000 Omani Riyal. What are the price charged to the owner? What is the contractor profit? How much will you pay in this method? How much will you pay as an owner? Here, when I say the price, is it including a profit? How much the owner is going to pay? Shall I pay the 3,000 for the facility or for the project? Shall I pay the 3,000? So I'll be paying the 3,000 and I'll be paying the 500 as a profit for the contract. Okay, so 3,000 plus 500. Is it clear? Okay. Now, how much is the contractor profit? The profit of the contractor is how much? Is 500. Okay. Now, if the actual cost became 10,000 instead of 3,000, the actual cost became 10,000. How much is the profit? In this scenario, if the actual cost became 10,000, how much is the profit? The profit will not change. It will remain as 500. Is it clear? Is it clear why this is a good method for me as an owner and it's not that good method for a contractor? Now, if the cost goes to 20,000, how much do I need to pay for the contractor? If the price goes to, or if the cost goes to 20,000 Omani Riyal, how much do I need to pay for the contractor as a profit? I need to pay for him the actual cost plus 500 of the profit. Now, will the 500 increase if the time increased? Will the 500 Omani Riyal increase if the time of the project increases? It's a fixed value. Okay, it's a fixed value. So who is going to be having the, what you call, who is going to having the best deal here? Who is in the safer side? The contractor or the owner? Okay. The owner is going to be in the safer side because the value that he is paying as a profit is going to be only 500 riyals. Now the contractor will try to finish here. He will try to finish the project very fast, or he will not care about the time. The owner is in the safer side, of course. Now, will the contractor try to finish the project as soon as possible, or he will try to take a lot of time to finish the project in this scenario? Will you try to finish the project fast and take the 500, or will you finish it within a long period? You will try to finish it as soon as possible, so you will get your 500 and go to another project, right? Is it clear? Okay. So once again, related to this method, in this method we are going to pay actual cost for the project itself, the actual cost, plus we are going to pay a certain fixed value for the contractor, whether the project finished fast or finished late, whether it took time or not. The money to be paid for the contractor is 500 riyal. Okay, the amount of money to be paid to the contractor is a fixed amount. That's why the contractor will try to finish the project as soon as possible, okay, to go to another project. If he finished it in 1 day, or if he finished it in 1 year, he will get the exact same value, which is 500. So it's better to finish as soon as possible. Are we clear? Now, once again, we said, if the project is complicated, will you agree as a contractor to have only 500? If the project is complicated and you know that this project might be taking a lot of time, will you agree to have a fixed price? Okay, if the project is complicated, you know that it will take a lot of time, then for me as a contractor, of course, I'll not agree to take a fixed price. I'll agree for the second method, which is cost plus fixed percentage. Now, when we talk about cost plus fixed fee, if the time is increasing, will the profit increase for cost plus fixed fee? Once again, if the time is increasing, the time of the project is increasing, will the profit of the contractor increase? No, it will not increase. Whether you have finished your project in 1 year or 10 years, the value of the profit is going to be the same. Now, what about if it's a percentage? It's a percentage. If the project time increases, will the profit of the contractor increase? You will see whenever time is increasing, it means that our payment or actual costs are increasing. Whenever the actual cost is increasing, it means that my profit is going to increase because it's a percentage now. Is it clear? So for a complicated project, the owner will go, the contractor will try to go and push taking a percentage rather than taking a fixed price or a fixed fee. Are we okay? Now, if you see this question, it says for you, your company has entered into a cost plus percentage contract with contractor X. At the end of the project, the contractor's actual costs are 10,000. The contractor percentage is 2%. What is the price charged to the owner? Okay. And what is the contractor profit? So how much do I need to pay here? How much do I need to pay as an owner? How much is the price charged? How much do I need to pay? Faisal, it depends on the contract. If you're going for a traditional contract, then most of them they should have. But the problem, most of the owners here in Oman, they don't know that they have a right to keep a penalty if the contractor didn't finish on time. So if the contractor is not having it, then you cannot ask the contractor to pay for a penalty. But if it's mentioned, then it's your right to get it. Okay. So it's going to be 10,200. It's going to be 10,200. 10,000 is for the facility or the project itself. 200 is the profit of the contract. So I'll pay 10,200, and the contractor profit is 200 riyals. Now, if the project cost increases from 10,000 to 1 million, will the profit of the contractor increase? If the amount increases from 10,000 to 1 million, will the profit increase? You will see that the profit is going to increase, right? Now, in this scenario, the contractor will try to increase the time, or he will try to finish as soon as possible. In this scenario, the contractor will try to increase the time, or he will try to finish as soon as possible. Once again, the contractor here will try to increase the time, or will try to finish as soon as possible. He will try to increase the time. Why to increase the time? Because if the time is increased, the actual cost is increasing. If the actual cost is increasing, then my profit is increasing. Are we clear? Are we fine? Now we have the last method, which is cost plus fixed fee plus incentive. We'll take it next class, but before doing that, we'll return back here. Now, if you go and see here, we have a matrix here, in which we have in one side contractor risk, and then we have owner risk. Now you see, it says for you lump sum. Okay, lump sum is 100%, almost 100% contractor risk, almost 0% owner risk. And then we have cost plus fixed fee, where the risk is a little bit with the owner, more into the owner. The risk is somehow less to the contractor. And then we have cost plus percentage as well, where the owner is having the maximum risk and the contractor is having lesser risks. Did you understand this one, or do I need to explain it further? Have you understood this one, or do I need to explain it further? Is it clear, or do I need to explain it? Okay. Now that we have something called known and something which is called unknown. We have known and we have unknown. Okay. Now, is it better for me to know or not to know? Is it better for me to know or not to know? It's better always for me to know rather than not to know. Now, if we take the first one, which is fixed price, Fixed price, is it known from you? Is it known for you from the beginning? Do you know the price before you sign the agreement? Before you start the construction, and is it known or unknown? No. So this is known. Okay. Now going for the second one, we have cost plus fee. Cost, is it known or unknown? Do you know the cost, or you will know only the cost when the project's finished? When I say actual cost, the actual cost will be known before, or will only be known after the thing completed? Once again, when I say for you actual cost. Okay, okay. Now when I say estimated cost, is it possible to estimate the costs? Now, before, after, before. When I say estimated cost, can you estimate the value before the project? Is it possible for you to estimate the value before? Okay. Estimating a value is possible before. Do you know how much is the actual value unless the project is complete? Is it possible for you to know the actual value before the project is complete?
No.
Okay. So here we are not paying the estimated value, we are paying the actual value. Now actual value, is it known or unknown for you before you start? Before we start the project, is it known or unknown for you? Before we start the project, the actual cost is unknown, because this will be only known after the end of the project. Okay, so this is unknown. What about the fee? Do you know how much is your fee? Will the fee change? Will the fee change, or is it something known from the beginning? Okay, so something which is already known. The last one, cost plus percentage. Cost, we agreed that it's unknown. What about the value of the percentage? Okay, what about the value of the percentage? Okay, what about the value of the percentage? Is it known or unknown for you? Not the percentage itself, the value of the percentage. Does it depend on the actual cost? Is it changing or not changing? The value of the percentage, is it known or unknown? Changing. Since it's changing, it's going to be unknown. So this is going to be unknown. Now, which one is better for me? Fully known, half known, half unknown, or fully unknown? Of course, the best option for me is to know fully. Second one is the half known, half unknown. The third one is the worst scenario where I don't know anything. Is it clear? Are we okay? Okay. Now, for the first one, we understood that it's good for me. We understood the last one is not good for me. Now here, which one is having more value, the cost or the fee for the second method? Which one is having more value, the cost or the fee? The unknown is more or the known is more? The cost is unknown, the fee is known. Which one is higher, the known or unknown? The cost is higher, so the unknown is higher, right? Okay. The unknown value is higher. Do you agree? Do you agree that the unknown is higher, which is the cost? In terms of value. In terms of value, which one is higher, the fee or the cost? Okay, the higher is going to go always the cost. You will not give a person a profit more than the amount of work. Okay, so of course the cost is going to be higher. So if we go and see here, you will see that when it comes to the owner, the best option is for me lump sum or a fixed price. After that we have cost plus fixed fee. After that we have cost plus percentage. Known, half known, half unknown, fully unknown. Now why this is not coming exactly in the middle? Okay, why it's not coming exactly in the middle? We say the cost is unknown, which is higher than the fee. That's why it goes to the side of the contractor, or it goes to the side of the owner having more risk, since the cost is more than the fee itself. Okay, are we okay? Now it goes to the other opposite side. Whatever is best for the owner, it's not going to be the best for the contractor. So for the contractor, the best option is the percentage. After that, the cost plus fixed fee. After that, the worst scenario is lump sum, where I cannot do anything. My value is mentioned, or my value is within the contract. Now for cost plus percentage, there cannot be a lose for the contractor. Okay, for cost plus percentage, there cannot be any lose for the contractor. He cannot lose because it's a percentage. Whenever the cost is increasing, the value is increasing. Cost plus fixed fee, once again, whatever is the cost, there will be a fee. It cannot be negative value. There will not be a lose. When it comes to lump sum, he has an option, or he has chances of losing as well. Okay, we signed an agreement for 20,000. If the value turns up, the actual value turns up to be 22,000, then he needs to pay the 2,000 from his own pocket. Okay, are we clear? Okay. Now doing that, we have finished. We have finished today's class. Hopefully next class we are going to have some questions related to these as well. We'll try to solve them from the previous exams, so you will not have a disaster in your other tests as well. Okay. We have finished the class. What I want from you, for the sake of the attendance, I want you to write 11:30 a.m. in your chat box. If you are there, write 11:30 a.m. in your chat box, so I'll record your attendance. If you have any question, If you have any question, then you are free to ask. If you don't have any question, then we have finished.